2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. My name's Ash, and it's Storytime Live. Brought to you tonight by Palmia Light. Light beer with natural flavors. Yeah, don't drink this. It's not a good beer. Inspired by Spain lemon infused. Ugh. Man, I bought this 6-pack a while back, several months ago. And I'm just trying to get through it. I was gonna have something good, and I was like, you know what? I just can't stand looking at these in the fridge. I mean, they're not disgusting, but it sucks. I was really hoping it was gonna taste like my favorite beer ever, which I don't know if it's my favorite beer ever, but right now it's the beer I wish most I could have, which is Meyer Lemon. It's called Anchor Steam Meyer Lemon Lager. I think that's what it's called. It's a beautiful looking can too. Anchor Steam makes good beer. They make a beer called California Lager. If you can ever find that and you like lagers, I recommend checking that one out. This beer is essentially the same thing, but it has just a slight hint of lemon in it, like barely. It doesn't taste lemony at all. It just alters the flavor ever so slightly. This Palmer, the reason why this Palmer is not good is because they were like, subtlety, fuck that, throw in more lemon. So it's just like, whoa, damn it. Maybe Palmia is like Palmer. Maybe they were like, you know, an Arnold Palmer's half iced tea and half lemonade. Maybe they were trying to go for that route with the beer. They're like, oh, an Arnold Palmer with beer. We'll call it Palmia. I don't know what they were doing. Not that you guys care. I'm just blabbing because that's what I do here on Ash on Comics. I blab. It's great to see you guys. Hope you're enjoying your evening. This is the nightcap. Hope you have a nice, refreshing beverage, something better than I do. My backup for tonight after I finish my beer is a big thermo flask. You guys, I love my thermo flask. If you don't have a thermo flask or equivalent, one of those vacuum sealed, they're like the stainless steel vacuum sealed bottles, so they kind of work like a thermos, but they're all they're like a special grade of steel. I don't think it's exactly stainless steel, but anyways, it leaves no flavoring, so they're really good to drink water out of. I have several, but I have two that are I think this is 24 ounces. I think it's 24 ounces. I have two. I have one that I throw in, I usually put soda or iced tea in. And then I have another one that's blue, coincidentally, and I just put only water. I don't mess, because I don't want it to, it's delicious. Get yourself one. It'll keep your drinks cold for like 24 hours. That's why I love, I get one of these, I fill it up, I keep them in my bedroom or whatever, and then sometimes I just like wake up in the middle of the night, I want to drink. When I got my thermal flask, I pop it open, it's still cold. I love it. Which you're like, did I come here for comic books? Why is this guy talking about his thermal flask and shitty beer? Eric Breen is first tonight. And you know what that means, kids. You better start saying your prayers, because that's one of the signs of the apocalypse, I do believe. And that means the beast is coming and times is short. Oh, hell's going to break loose. Get yourself saved. Anyways, I didn't have enough comedy in me to take that joke anywhere, so I didn't. Melissa is second, and Marani is third. And I don't know if you can hear that in the background. It's really loud on my headphones, but I can never tell exactly what transmits. I gave my dog, what is it called? A snackin' bone. It's a beef marrow ring. So it's like they take like a cow leg bone or something, and then they kind of slice it down into like rings that are about an inch wide. And then they roast them. They're really good. Your dogs love them. And I normally don't pick them up because they're super expensive. But the dollar store, $1 for a 2-pack, and I was like 50 cents each. That's a steal. So my dog was getting treats, and so I gave her one like an hour ago. And she's one of those kind of dogs that you give her something, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hold off on this." And you're like, "Just here, eat it." And I'm like, "Oh no, you're not eating, so I won't eat." I'm like, "All right, whatever. You eat it on your own time." So she just sits there and looks at it, and then right before the stream starts, like as I've got the thing going on, all of a sudden I hear her like dig in on it. She's like, crunch, crunch, crunch. I'm just like, really? Now's the time you decided to dig in on it? So if you can hear it, and you're like, "What's that crunching noise in the background?" That is her. And if you can't hear it, well, maybe your imagination can fill in the blanks. Whatever the case is, hopefully it's better than a tweeting bird. And if Englanteen doesn't watch my channel, but if he is, I poke fun because Englanteen's got twiddles. I'm sure if you guys have all seen Englanteen's channel, and the bird has become essentially the co-host of the show, of all of his shows. He's pretty infamous over there. So hopefully it's better than that. And what else? Marani's in the house. Wait, did I miss the stream? No, you didn't miss anything. I did get started a little earlier tonight. I'm trying to be a little bit more timely. I don't like to keep you guys waiting. I really feel bad every time that happens. Let's see. Computer robots. What? The stream is ending soon already? Oh, did I do that again? Or I put the ending all at the... I'm a dunce. I need to have a different ending from a starting so I can easily tell. Whatever. That's a no prize for computer robots. And if you don't know what a no prize is, you ain't a real fan. You ain't a real comic fan. So gatekeeping. I've been hearing the topic of gatekeeping recently, both in the comics field and other areas. I started watching a couple other new YouTube channels in the realms of actual books. When I say actual books, I mean like just novels. There's a surprisingly, or a really unsurprisingly, large amount of YouTubers out there who do channels like I do, or all the comic book channels, but instead devoted just to novels and regular books. I don't know why that should have surprised me. I guess it's because I was never around. But I've been reading this book series, as I mentioned from time to time, The Stormlight Archives by author Brandon Sanderson, who's quickly becoming one of my favorite authors. And I'm finally on the 4th book, these gigantic behemoth monster books. It's called Rhythm of War, and they're huge. They're like, some of these books are like 1,200 pages, and that can be very daunting. I know it did honestly keep me from reading these books for a long time because they're ginormous, and I already don't read a lot in the form of regular novels anyway. Mostly because they're so time consuming. I want to be able to consume them quicker, and I just have a short attention span. But I love books. Books, I think, are the best form of storytelling. It's just probably the least efficient form of storytelling. And I think a lot of us want the quick and easy path, which is why we like TV and movies for the most part. I do enjoy comic books also for that. It's a very efficient form of storytelling. None of them are necessarily bad or I just said one's best of all, but they're all good. They all have their merits. I don't snub my nose to any of them. Obviously, I love comics. I have a channel devoted to comics, but there's just something you can get out of novels that you just can't get anywhere else. But I guess that's true of all the forms, right? There's some things that comics can do that you can't get anywhere else. And I guess when it comes to long form storytelling, jeez, dog. I back in the day when I would talk about my time when I used to read X-Men comics, and that's what got me. There were hundreds of X-Men issues. I read the entire Chris Claremont run multiple times. And when you put those all together, that's thousands of pages of comics. And they can be quite large, but they're broken up into little bite-sized chunks, so they don't seem daunting. And that's something that I would urge anyone who is like, oh, I don't want to get into a big book. That's not for me. And you feel that intimidation as I did. Try to think of it that way. Try to piece that book together and just go, you know what? I'm going to read 20 pages a day, like a comic book, 20 pages. Don't think about, I got to get through 1,200 pages. Just think about like binging your favorite TV show, that might be, 10 seasons long or whatever. I don't know, whatever show, that's a lot when you think of it as the whole. Don't think of it as a whole. Think about an episode. Just like, I want to read a chapter. I know once upon a time, I remember when Stephen King released The Green Mile. And I'm not a big Stephen King fan. In fact, I think he's not really a great writer. But I remember when he released The Green Mile, it really stood out to me because he released it in episodic format. He released them as 6 mini little books. And I was like, that is so cool. Because for some reason, even though I didn't like Stephen King, and then ultimately, spoiler alert, I did not end up reading the book. But I've never been more like closer to buying a Stephen King book other than the Gunslinger, which I regret because it's not good. But the Gunslinger I was really excited for. I thought it was going to be up my alley, and I was like, what the hell is this? Anyways, I'm probably pissing off. There's probably someone canceling. How dare you insult the Gunslinger, Ash? Back below 700 subs you go. Jeez, I suck. Anyways, the Gunslinger series. Why am I talking about the Gunslinger all of a sudden? Anyways, the Green Mile had these they're little mini little books. They're probably about as thick as like the DC Giants, those 100-page giants. They weren't comic book tall and wide, like they were still like a paperback, but they were thick. They were thin for a book. You're like, wow. And you just paid like a couple dollars. Actually, I want to think that they were $1. To be honest, I mean, this was back in the 80s. Was it the 80s? Or maybe it was the early 90s. It was 30 years. I mean, times are different. Anyways, it was cheap. And I was like, oh, and I don't know why, but that idea, I knew it was going to be, they said it's 1 of 6, just like a comic book miniseries. Knew there was going to be more, but the concept of buying it, that smaller little book, and just getting through that, was just a lot more appealing. Now, I knew it was going to be bundled up into one big book, and today, that's the only way you can buy The Green Mile, is the big book. But for some reason, one seems more appealing to the other. And maybe that's just me, and maybe that's one of the reasons I'm a comic book fan, is because I have that mindset. I don't know, but I really love novels. I really love these kinds of, that form of storytelling. And if I did any form of writing, which I'm a wannabe, that would be my medium of choice over comics or movies or screenplays, teleplays, whatever. So, be that as it may, it's a great series of books. But I was starting to watch some YouTubers who were talking about these books, and then I went down this rabbit hole and all these other novels, and all of a sudden I'm finding myself with a wish list of books that I want to read. And I'm starting to get more excited about regular novels. Let's see. Rania says, passes out slices of Meyer lemon pound cake. Oh, I love pound cake. Lemon pound cake's all right, too. As soon as my husband sends me pictures he took of it to post them to the DM group, proof of Ash. Yeah, you need to prove. No pictures, no proof. In the gaming community, we used to call it screenshot or it doesn't count. Ed Brewer's in the house. What's going on, Ed? Hi, friends. Sipping on coffee of all things. I don't usually drink coffee, but this cup is divine. Oh, tell us more about your divine coffee. I love good coffee. Let's see. RDV says, I got my Ben & Jerry's tonight dough. Oh, that must be one of the flavors. Probably based on the Tonight Show. Ben & Jerry's has, in recent years, loved to start making these ice cream flavors named after pop culture things. Especially when it's one of their lefty friends. like Stephen Colbert. I think they've made a couple flavors for him. Whatever. Ben & Jerry's makes good ice cream. I'm not as big of a fan of their flavors these days as I used to be. My favorite flavor of all times is one of the ones that they killed off. It's called Peanut Turtle, I think is what it's called. And it oh man. It was like a kind of a combination of what is the turtle, the toffee turtle ice cream or whatever. It's got the caramel ribbon or caramel for those of you who have other dialects. But it also had, it was one of the first ice creams I've ever had that had chocolate covered pretzel bits. Like it was, and I love the salty sweet. Chocolate covered pretzels are great. And they put that in the ice cream and it was just, to use Ed's language, divine. My favorite flavor of ever. I think the current flavor of Ben & Jerry's is my favorite. If I had to pick any current flavor, would probably be everything but the. That's a pretty good one. One of the things I like about Ben & Jerry's is, and they don't do it as much anymore. Like they used to be famous for this. Like all their ice creams were just like super chunky. Like they would just load it with whatever things that they put in it. It was just, like in regular ice cream, like chocolate chip ice cream. It's got little bits of chocolate here and there, whatever. But like Ben & Jerry's, it would be like, you had to get a backloader to like dig out the just tons of stuff they put in it. And I just love that about them. No other ice cream company was doing that. They kind of walked away from that. And but this is one of the flavors that still does. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about Ben & Jerry's. Let's see. I had Turkey Hill Rocky Road ice cream earlier. I don't know what Turkey Hill is. Rocky Road's. I used to love Rocky Road. I guess I still do, but it just feels like an old-fashioned flavor. Like we've just Ben & Jerry's kind of killed all the old classic flavors. They were like, Rocky Road, that's too basic. We need like 10 other things in our ice cream. Eric Breen was first tonight. It must be time to cover American Chavez comic. Oh yeah. That might be a good idea. Well, we got a schedule to keep. We got Captain America, but maybe if Eric ever joins me in the Purple Room for a night, we could come up with something. Let's see. I'll have to ask my husband for someone because it sounds good. Artie says we need more Kate Bishop comics for story time. No, I don't think. I think the only way Kate Bishop is making it on here is through America. Let's see. Ronnie says, nice, Ed. I stuck with Maxwell House Instant when I make my mocha coffee. Oh, Ed was talking about those coffees from Brazil. The package is in Portuguese. I got some grounds, put it in a container. Enough for like 6 pots. Oh, nice. I'm a big fan of single bean coffee, which means not a blend. So many coffees these days. It's just blend. Oh, there's a blend. Blend this blend, that blend. That is the Starbucks method of ripping you off. Hey, look at, we got this great blend. No, that's a way of putting a bunch of shitty cheap beans into your coffee and a handful of maybe some gourmet beans and making you think that you need to spend a lot of money for it. Don't do it. Coffee is primarily 2 things. The quality of the bean, which is often dependent on the region it's grown in, which is why there's different kinds of coffee beans are known for their regions. It's kind of like grapes for wine. And the second thing is the quality of the roast. So you can have a shitty bean and a great roaster might make the best out of it. But if you have a great bean, you just need to be an adequate roaster and you're going to get a good coffee, in my opinion. My favorite coffee of all time is Kona, not to be confused with Kona Blend, because, again, you're getting 10% Kona beans and 90% shitty, who knows what beans. But pure Kona coffee that's my favorite coffee. My go-to though, when I don't want to spend a lot of money on coffee, which is most of the time, if you like coffee, maybe you want to try it, is Costa Rica Terrazzo. Is it Terrazzo? Costa Rica Terrazzo. I'm sitting there thinking, am I confusing it with tiramisu? No. Sometimes you say a word and you're like, that doesn't sound right. Costa Rica Terrazzo. There's also Costa Rica. Not that. Costa Rica Terrazzo. You can find it in grocery stores, Safeway. If you have a Safeway in your area, even the Safeway brand, whatever you get, it's all going to be from whatever mountain in Costa Rica that these beans come from. The Safeway brand is what I used to get when I had a Safeway around me. Great coffee, and you won't spend a lot like this, especially if you get Safeway brand. I was buying it for like $6.99 a bag, really cheap. But you know exactly the bean you're gonna get. None of these shitty. I don't know, why am I talking about coffee? This is Ash on coffee. I gotta scroll down. I'm never gonna get through this. RDV says Ash likes Chunky Monkey from Ben and Jerry's. I don't, because one of the few things I dislike is walnuts. I like most foods. I'm a picky eater. Because I'm a snob. So I'm particular, but it's mostly because I just want quality. But I don't dislike almost anything. Most food, as long as it's adequately prepared, it's not burned or anything, I like it all. So I don't have that problem, but walnuts and liver are two of the things I don't like. I can eat walnuts because usually they're small little bits, and usually they're mixed in with something like a big pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, so the flavor is hidden. But just popping walnuts by myself, and I won't do it. Liver is the absolute worst. And it used to be oysters was number 3, but I recently went back and tried oysters, and I liked them. So I was like, cross that off the list. Your taste buds evolve. And oftentimes if you try something and you dislike it, and you come back to it years later, your brain has reassociated that taste. Because usually when you don't like something, it's because it's foreign, and your brain doesn't recognize what it is, and it's a defensive mechanism to be like, whoa, don't eat this shit, could kill you. And so if you don't like it, you're not going to be enticed to eat it. But once your brain realizes, hey, this was fine, and I actually got some nutrients out of this. Oh, turn the pleasure receptacles on, and we got to have the body eat more of this. So yeah. The only thing bad about raw oysters, is you just basically slurp them down. You're like, it's expensive, and you don't really taste them much. Anyways, it's one of those things with gourmet foods, delicacies as they call them. Like, people just go nuts over that shit. Melissa says she loves Stephen King's The Shining and The Dark Tower and The Stand, Cujo, Carrie, Shawshank Redemption, Firestarter, Dead Zone, Salem's. Those are her personal favorites. Well, awesome. I know a lot of people love Stephen King. I mean, he's probably the most successful author of all time, I would guess, when you just count the sheer number of books. I've just never got. I know his classics. I mean, and Melissa did, I noticed, name all these old school classics. She didn't name a single modern book. I have been tempted to read The Stand because it's different than his normal size stuff, and people that I know and trust really love the book. Let's see. Marani says everything but that is really good. Well, of course I just said it was. Well, you don't trust me? Doug says, lol, I guess I could always burn some of the Marvel books live. Burn Marvel books that I picked up over the last couple years. Wait, what? I don't know what that's in relation to. But yes, you could burn Marvel books. In a cold winter, that they'd probably have more use that way than entertainment. Ed says, I agree with you on liver, that, and beets. Blah. Well, I will agree that beets are not exactly tasty. They kind of taste like dirt. they don't have like a negative taste for me. They don't have like a positive either. They're just sort of they're kind of a wash, you know. It's like I eat them and I go, whatever. Like I don't want to eat these, but I don't like gag on them either. I'm not like, whoa, what am I eating? Like I'm just like, it's just there. And beets are really good for you. So I kind of tell myself that too when I'm eating beets, which is pretty rare, but I'm like, at least it's really good for you. So, X-Men taste buds, the new infinite frontier. I do not understand what you meant to heal him, but it sounded good. Ed says King's books were better than any of his movies, even The Shining. Really? Really? I don't know about that. Even like Shawshank Redemption was better, the book, because people freak out about the movie, and I never hear anyone talk about the book ever. What was another one that people, one of his movies that was like really, The Green Mile. People freak out about The Green Mile. Never hear anyone talk about the book ever. So I'll take your word for it. Books are usually better. I know his adaptations normally suck. Like, oh my God, some of the movies that they made, like, you're, what the hell? What was that one? The Dreamcatcher? It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I was like, what the hell am I watching? Let's see. Ronnie says, I hated kale growing up, but these days slow cooked with ham hocks, to quote Ed, divine. Well, I mean, if you drown it in like fat and grease and ham hock flavor, sure. I can eat kale. I don't know if I would slow cook it though. Like I don't want it like slimy kale. I don't know. I've never really had it. But like flash fried with seasoning, good seasoning, maybe some onions, some garlic. That's the way I've usually had kale. I can have it in a salad too, like in small quantities. Kale's pretty... It's not one of those... Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to just bite into a head of kale, but it doesn't disgust me. Melissa says Misery is her personal favorite. Yeah, Misery is... I haven't read the book. The movie was pretty good. So it's not a movie I really want to watch ever again. You just watch it once and go, damn. And then you're done. Snatch Faces lol, Dreamcatcher. I can't ever get that time back. I know, right? And the worst thing is I watched it again because I was like, man, it can't be that bad. I must have missed something. Like I was like, nope, it's even worse than I thought. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's get over to some comics. What's going on in the world of comics? I like to check out the sales. Marvel's doing a War of Kings sale. I was not around the comic scene during War of Kings, so I don't know anything about this. If Eric was on with me right now, he could tell us, like he so aptly does on the auction shows about these comics. He could tell us what this is all about and whether or not it's worth anyone's time. The covers all look cool. So, some Nova. People like Nova. I don't know why, but people do. Oh. X-Men Kingbreaker. Yeah, whatever. What else do we got? Marvel X-Men Legends sale. Oh. I think this is hilarious, by the way. X-Men 92. Marvel was so desperate because they had so already like fucked up the goose that laid the golden egg, which was firing Chris Claremont off of X-Men. Thanks, Bob Harris. You destroyed the best thing that Marvel's ever had. And then they basically destroyed X-Men. X-Men has never been the same since. It floundered for a while. You know, John Byrne took over Uncanny X-Men. You had Scott Lobdell take over after Jim Lee left, because Jim Lee was, I think, doing a legitimately decent job. Now, he might have been, some people theorize that he was working on some Chris Claremont script ideas that were kind of given to him during his time when he was co-writing with Chris Claremont. And maybe that's so. But he and Brandon Choi, I thought, carried on those issues that after Claremont left. They weren't the Chris Claremont level. They were good, though. I enjoyed them. I would have been happy continuing on at that level. Then he left. Scott Lobdell picked up. I think Scott Lobdell did okay. Now, certainly, by today's standard, Scott Lobdell fucking was doing masterpieces. I would die to go back to this. Like, it was kind of his comics. I forget who took over for Uncanny. Was it Fabian Nicieza? It might have been Fabian. They were doing an okay job, but the problem is they didn't have Claremont's writing stamina. And, you know, like all writers, they just kind of run out of ideas and they start getting stale. Well, most writers, I guess I should say. And I just was like, this X-Men just doesn't do it for me anymore. And that's what kind of helped me drift away from comics. I wasn't pissed off. I didn't leave in a huff. I just found myself not wanting to spend all this money on these books that were just kind of just okay. I was used to greatness and I wanted greatness. But come back today, I'm like, why am I buying comics that are worse than the comics that made me leave the first time? So anyways, X-Men 92. When Marvel was so desperate that they had to make a comic based on the cartoon that was based on the most successful era of X-Men ever. Like, dude, when you got to be derivative of yourself, why are you adapting the cartoon adaptations of your books? It reminds me of like the modern Marvel when they did like the comics for the Spider-Man video game. Look, that's a great video game. The Spider-Man PS4 game is fan-freaking-tastic. It's better than anything Marvel's doing. It's legitimately, it is. But the Marvel Amazing Spider-Man is the source material. You don't be like, hey, we're going to make a comic book based on the video game. You're like, no, you're doing it wrong. The comic's supposed to be based on you. Like, why? Anyways, hopefully you understand what I'm getting at here. At least they're cheap. I have no interest. I didn't really watch the cartoon much. I thought the cartoon was a cheapy imitation, and I was like, why do I want to watch these dumb cartoons? I got the comics. So I know some of you grew up on these cartoons and you loved them, but I was in my mid-20s at this point, and, you know, or early 20s. I guess I was Jimmy's age. Well, in 92, I was Jimmy's age. I don't remember exactly when these came out. And then X-Men Forever, I never read. This is when Chris Claremont came back for a time. And I guess it didn't work. I think once you leave the nest for long enough, you can't ever go back. So I should try. I'm a big Chris Claremont fan. Breen, tell me about these books. Well, you didn't like X-Men. Let's see. Melissa says Ash is scared of Annie Wilkins. Well, wouldn't you be? Holy cow. Morani says War of Kings. Did Cates retool that idea in King in Black? I don't think so. What little I know. Artie says no. Claremont 90s X-Men was fun. Okay. I'm sure it's way better. Again, way better than what's going on now. So taking that perspective, it just, when you come from the top, as good as it's ever been. I had a discussion with my buddy. We were talking about Star Wars, because he's a big Star Wars fan. I'm a big Star Wars. You know, we both grew up on the original trilogy. And he was talking about like how a lot of people, like their first Star Wars now is the prequels. And so they see the whole franchise differently than the way he and I do. And I thought he made us some good points, because like for them, that's their Star Wars. And if that's your baseline, I think it makes kind of the newer stuff, like the Disney stuff, Mandalorian, whatever, a lot more palatable because your baseline is different. My baseline is the best Star Wars has ever been. It'll never be as good as that ever again. And so I'm going to always be disappointed. But a prequels person, their baseline is at a lower level. So I think new stuff has a lot to offer. You're like, oh yeah, I liked this. Now I can like this. I don't know. Maybe that's me. I just got spoiled on original X-Men. Ed says, one dislike? Yeah, only one. That's how I look at it, Ed. Only one dislike? Wow, I'm doing good. Those are all very good. They were part of Abnett and Lanning's cosmic storyline, including the Nova series. Oh, okay. Maybe those might be worth checking out sometime. Ed says, I never read X-Men. My intro was that cartoon. Okay. War of the Houses of the Kings of the Black Realm coming to Marvel Summer 2021. Oh, leave it to Marvel. They will. We got to do Heroes Reborn first, Doug, right? And then 2022 will be Heroes Return. And then maybe after that we can do War of Kings. Maybe it'll be War of Queens, though, because it'll be more woke. More War of Queens. And when I say queens, I mean in all the definitions of the word queen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Ronnie says, I like the cartoons except for Jubilee and Morph. Well, that was kind of like the comics. Although Morph wasn't really in the comics much. Jubilee was an annoying character. You just kind of put up with her. Let's see. Marty V says, Morph is lame in any form. Amen. DC Comics ruined Harley Quinn. Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that. Let's see. I'll have to check out this X-Men Forever. Too bad none of them are on the Unlimited. Where's the first one? Forever 2. I think that's funny that there's a sequel, though. X-Men Forever. X-Men Forever 2. Foreverer. Beyond Forever. Wait, what? Why? I thought the first one was Forever. How come we have a second Forever? Doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of good. There's old stuff. Get the old stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, DC Start Here sale. Look at this. You want to start on DC? Right before you can get all your hopes and dreams dashed away with Future State? Come and read this good stuff before it got all fucked. It's all fucked up now. But here's what it used to be like. You can relive and give us money for the books you used to like. What the hell? I really do want to check out the Earth 1 stuff, especially Batman, Jeff Johns. And the Earth 1 Green Lantern, I heard, is pretty good. All of it's what I want to check out. And Super Sons, I recommend. Kind of want to go back and read this Batman and Robin series from New 52. Peter Tomasi, Patrick Gleason. This is before they were doing their Superman for Rebirth, which was my favorite title in Rebirth, arguably. I guess if you count Hawkman. But in the beginning, the ones that actually said Rebirth on the books, Superman Rebirth, I loved. So I really kind of I like what... Tomasi is the only person that understands Damian, in my opinion. What he does with Damian is just brilliant. And unfortunately, everyone else just doesn't get it. They just write him as a vicious little asshole kid. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what? Who? I don't... Really sad. Really sad. No Man's Land on sale. That reminds me. RDV gave me a good gift for... was it Christmas time that you gave that to me? The road, I think it's the Road to No Man's Land or Cataclysm. I can't keep track of all the... it's just too big. That's what she said. So, yeah. Volume 1, new edition. Okay. Hellboy. There you go. Again, get them all unlimited. I want to try Hellboy, but it's just there's so many Hellboys. I feel intimidated. The complete Gail Simone Red Sonja. There we go. That's what RDV wants. His favorite Red Sonja right there. Is there anything else interesting? Nope. Oh, man, there's a lot of sale going on. Just a lot of stuff. A lot of European stuff. Dynamite. Oh, okay. I don't care about this. We're going to be reading Captain America tonight. We'll get to that here in a second. Got 10 people listening right now. That's a huge number. Boy, I'm a big straw. Let's see. RDB corrects me. It's Cataclysm. It's 18 issues. I need to dig into that. I really want to get into No Man's Land. Like that whole saga. People tell me it's like one of the best Batman stories in the ongoing format. You know, because it's good to sometimes like say, well, aside from the miniseries stuff, and I count year one as a miniseries. I know it was in the pages of Batman, but it really was written. If that was published today, it would have been a miniseries. Aside from that, aside from like Dark Knight, the White Knight stuff, whatever. What's like the best like ongoing Batman stories or runs? And Cataclysm / No Man's Land, that whole part, everyone constantly is always in the talk. Either it's that's the best, or at least people are like, it's not the best, but it's certainly in the running. And so I go, I gotta read it. RDB says New 52 is awesome. Yeah. Melissa says New 52 is garbage. And so is Snyder's DCEU and the Baranti Arrowverse. Well, I think Venkman was saying New 52 Batman was awesome, to which I can't disagree. I think New 52 didn't really affect Batman. They were like, we're going to revamp the entire DC universe except for Batman, keep it exactly the same. So they put, arguably at the time, their two best writers on Batman. You had Snyder doing Batman and Tomasi doing Detective Comics. Well, no, he was doing Batman and Robin. Who was doing Detective Comics at the time? I forget. But you had two Batman books with their two best writers. So, man, I'd really be curious to see what Venditti would do with a Batman book. Hopefully we'll get to see someday. And hopefully Batman's not too messed up by future state. Man, careful what you wish for. Like, Robert Venditti on Batman. And it's like Tim Fox Batman. And I'm like, oh. Melissa is a hater. Arrow is awesome. Only one of those? No, I'm not going to say. Melissa can hate on things. Arrow is not awesome. And neither is Flash nor any CW show. I think CW is immune to awesome. I don't think they have it in them. Worth watching though, different story. Like I enjoy Flash. I can watch it. I cringe a lot of times. I'm like, oh, I roll my eyes even more. But if I just like tune out and I'm sitting, I'm watching with my buddy and his kids, like they're having a good time. I enjoy that they're enjoying it, and there's a plot and I'm following it, and I just try to focus on the good parts. It could be worse, and it's not preaching at me a bunch of dumb stuff. Although there's currently now I'm only in the second season and there's already 3 race swaps. Like, come on. I'm not going to go into that anymore. I know people get pissed off when you start talking about that stuff, but it just annoys the shit out of me. 3 race swaps already. I'm only in the second season. Just started. Let's get into comic books now, because that's what everyone's here for. And Eric hasn't gone to bed yet. Green Lantern franchise is pretty much unchanged going into 52 as well. Okay, fair enough. I didn't read it, but good point, Eric. RDV says, Future State has been great. Melissa, do you read the comic books that you say suck? I will disagree. I have yet to read anything remotely great, remotely even good in Future State. Some of the backstories in the Batman books have been decent, but not for $8 comics. No way. You want to pay $8 for a decent little backstory? You go ahead. There is nothing great so far. Now, I've heard the Swamp Thing. Some people are going, oh, the Swamp Thing, Ash, the Swamp Thing. And I'm like, okay, I gotta try the Swamp Thing. But no. Even if it is great, what, one out of dozens and dozens of books? It's most of it's garbage. Dominic's in the house. Welcome, Dominic. Let's get into Captain America: Sentinel Liberty. Battleground Paris, book 3 of 4. Herr Colonel Fletcher is our Zanmorder. Oh, sorry, I'd read that wrong. Herr Colonel Fletcher is ours Zanmorder. But still, is there more which must be accomplished, Herr Blitzkrieg? Such as, for one, too many witnesses, and also the luring of the super soldier. And we can undertake both tasks together. My thoughts precisely. "35 minutes later, an unsuspecting Captain America arrives late at the scene of the killing squad's mad spree. Good thing I checked with the general. This is the diner he said that the colonel called from. But everything looks quiet. Oh no, please don't let it be. Look at the scene. Death sentence to the super soldier. All these people butchered because of me. Stay away. Who? Please, don't hurt me. Ma'am, I'm here to help. Captain America? Yes, I'm here to help. Please tell me what happened. It was terrible. 3 men, sick, strange men. When I interrogated Private Hodge, the inside man for these Nazis, he told me there were a few meetings in the abandoned meat processing factory. Then get your butt over here. Frantic minutes later. He's not there? No, General. Neither is Lieutenant Glass. Where then? Where? Vroom. Sign reads, no trespassing. Property for sale by owner. Creak. Help! Cindy! Cindy! Locked. Cindy, hold on. Cindy. Steve! Help me! This is old-timey villain thing going on here. On a conveyor belt into whirling saw blades. If this were a modern comic, it'd be lame. But this is in the 30s. This is happening, what, let's say 1939, I guess. I don't know the exact date. maybe, I don't think the war is actually going on yet, at least not for America. So I kind of like seeing stuff like this in this time period, even if it, I mean, let's face it, it's comic books, it's not real, but it works for me. It just, I don't know, it just adds to the whole period, the flavor. Shrunk? Clunk, clunk. Phew. Hey, Cindy, your stockings are showing. Are you all right? Yes. Yes. Where's the colonel? They took him away. Oh, Steve, they were so horrible. You're okay now. Easy. Where do they take this colonel? I heard them say they had people waiting for them in Paris. They said they were going to steal the secrets of Project Rebirth. They wanted to duplicate Professor Erskine's experiment and create an army of soldiers like you. Not like me, Cindy. No, you're right. You're a good man. I thought I'd never see you again. We have to find the colonel, quickly. If I can get to a transport plane into Europe, I can contact General de Gaulle and the Free French. I? Hold on 1 second, mister. I'm not a private in the typing pool. I'm a United States Army intelligence officer. Let's say you do get into occupied France. What are you going to do? Do you speak French? Do you know anyone in the underground? No, but I could. I could. Later, at Camp Lehigh. This way, Cindy. Watch your step. I'm appalled that it's this simple to sneak in and out of the base. Simple? Who's the one carrying the motorcycle? Meanwhile, inside the tent of Camp Mascot James Buchanan Barnes. Huh? What's that? Who's there? I know I heard something. Someone in the storage tent. If it's more smugglers, they're going to be in for a big surprise. Peekaboo. I see you. Steve? Bucky? What's with the... You mean... You're not... You're Captain America. I knew no one could be as gullible and stupid and dopey as you pretend to be. Snap, click. Don't make a move, kid. Hey there now. Hey there. Put that thing down before you hurt someone, ma'am. Steve, should I shoot him? I love Cindy. She is awesome. Where did this girl go? This is a great scene. Just looking at Steve. What are you guys talking about? Let's see. Oh man, you guys have been talkative. Man, the book must not be that entertaining to you. Mariko Tamaki has been great on Batman. False. Good evening, Dominic. I already said that. Boycotting all Western entertainment, Melissa. Says Melissa. That's your right to do so. I think you're missing out. Here's why I don't like boycotting things on that level. If you're going to boycott all Western entertainment, then what about the Western entertainment that's doing the things you want to do? In my opinion, you need to support the stuff that's doing what you think is good so that it continues to do good. And if everyone supports that stuff, then that's what will be the mainstream stuff. If you boycott everything, then there's no reason for anyone to deliver the type of entertainment you expect. That's just my opinion. Oh, everyone's free to do what they want. Let's see. Melissa says anime and manga is better than modern DC Comics and Marvel. For the most part, that's true. Not all manga is great. Let's be fair. A lot of people put manga on a pedestal, and it's like, just like every other medium, there's good and there's bad. Some good manga is really good, and we tend to only see the good manga because that's what gets imported, right? Like, it's very rare that you're ever going to watch a bad foreign film, because if a foreign film is bad, no one's going to like bring it over to the States and be like, hey, you should watch this. Every movie that makes it over here as like a foreign film is already like screened all the process, and it's a huge hit overseas and people are loving it. And it's like, oh, even Americans will love this film. We should show it to them. So it's going to be good. It's going to make it seem like, hey, foreign films are way better than Hollywood. No. That's just, you're getting the best of the best. Same thing with manga, anime. There's a ton of garbage too. I'm not defending Marvel and DC. They're train wrecks right now, but just trying to be fair. Let's see. New 52 ruined DC for her, says Melissa. I stopped reading DC after that, and Marvel after One More Day ruined Spider-Man. There's good stuff in New 52. I read a New 52 book here that I think is fantastic, and that was the Road to Rebirth Superman, where it's what I call the true death of Superman, because it was the death of Superman and he actually stayed dead, not the fake thing that happened in the 90s. And it was like, oh, Superman's dead. And we all knew he was coming back. And sure enough, guess what? A year later, he came back. The New 52, it just felt more impactful. Superman died for real, not fighting a giant Hulk monster. And he gave his life in a really fun, like not a fun way, I hate to say, but like a meaningful. It felt like this is the hero Superman would be. He would give his life for his planet. Like and of course, written Peter Tomasi. He's great. Let's see. Eder Ash is one of them. What? I'm one of what? What? German? I am half German. How did you know? Maybe that's why I'm a Nazi. Maybe that's why everyone on Twitter calls me a Nazi, because I'm half German. John Wayne was Batman. Man, you guys are really talkative. I'm trying to think of anything that's relating to the comic book, though. Just a big argument between Melissa and RDV. I still feel that Cindy is the bait and the mole, says Maranya. Cindy is the kraut. It's my memory is so bad. I honestly and truly do not remember if this is the case or not. So I'm kind of with you on this. I'm like, I don't remember. Could she be? You guys are implanting thoughts in my head now, so maybe she could be. That's fun to reread it and not know. Let's see. Spencer is writing great Spider-Man issues now. Maybe. If Eric Breen is reading a comic book, it's good. Maybe. Ed Brewer says, it's your flawless German accent. My terrible German accent. I'd make a terrible German. Let's see. Eric says, you should see what I'm reading now, Vank. SJWs would have seizures. Just everyone always remember that America is Eric's favorite book. So you just take that however you want. Let's get back to the comic books. Should I shoot him? Of course not. You little... Ooh. Steve, do we really have to sit here listening to this child? Well, I'm sorry. I thought I could give you a hand, Get you on a transport plane, get you some guns, parachutes, rations. Of course, if you're not interested, I could always ring my friend at Washington Post, or that friend of a friend's cousin I know at NBC. Haven't said boo to him lately. Are you trying to blackmail us? Blackmail? I'm shocked, ma'am. Steve. Now, Bucky, the situations I encounter are a little bit more than a camp mascot is used to. I'll hold up my end, Steve. You know the kind of things I can finagle when I want to. If you can get us a flight and supplies, you can help. Steve! Aces. I'll have us in the air in an hour. You're not serious. About the transport part, yes. But don't worry. He won't come with us to France. You're sure? Bucky may be a smooth operator, but he's not that smooth. Approximately 70 minutes later. Okay, the route map says we should be clear until... the route map says we should be clear until we get into the Azores. From there to Tunisia. Last leg will get us into France. We got a panel that says it all. That's funny. All right. RDV, I'm glad we can be friends and have disagreements. RDV has lots of disagreements with his friends. Or maybe they're not really his friends after. I don't know. I only read the first book, so I'm going along with the ride, but the Krauts kept dropping clues about baiting Captain America, and he likes Cindy, so Eric's going to post a few pics of whatever he's reading in the group. All right. Ash sits in his closet and reads Jason Aaron books as RDV. I have been known to read a few Jason Aaron books. Apparently so is RDV, though. We did a video on him. You should go check it out. It's called Sour Capes, featuring Avengers, 41, 2, and 3? One of those. The Phoenix stuff. It's fun. You should go watch it. Not right now, though, after the show. Ronnie says, not just you, RDV. Not just Art, and everything's about RDV. Come on, didn't you know yet? Anyways, back to the story. Bucky, you may have gotten into the plane, but you are not touching down with us into France. You'll need my help. Do you speak French? No. Do you know the geography? No. I see. Now I understand why we'll need you. Lieutenant, it's like this. Steve needs someone around like me. Now that I know he's Cap, I realize he needs me more than ever. It's like this. I can do the dirty little tricks he's not allowed to. I can get the kind of information that goes beyond regular military methods. I may look young, but I'm a very worldly guy. My dad was a war hero. Did I tell you that? War hero. Yep. The big one. He died a few years ago. Been on my own pretty much ever since. Had to grow up pretty fast, let me tell you. But it's been okay. I guess most of the time. Sometimes it's lonely. No one to love me, to hold me when I need some comfort. Do you know what it's like to need someone to hug, maybe even kiss? Look at Steve's face. Several hours later, coming up on the French coastline. Just thought you should know. Shunk. I'm sorry, Cindy. I should never let him talk me into letting him come, huh? I guess I'm not the kind of man I'm supposed to be, am I? I feel so much pressure. Not just because of the Colonel, but what they made me. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm good enough to be what they want me to be. Act how they want me to act. Inside, I'm still the same scared, insecure, frail boy who never did anything right. Steve. Cindy, I... Hush. Don't say anything. We're coming in on a good drop point right now. Just thought you should know. Did I interrupt something? Steve's face. Yeah. Sorry. That wasn't very funny, you know. Bury your parachutes quickly, in case any Nazis or Vicky patrols spotted us coming down. Say what now? I thought this was supposed to be a safe drop point. There's some pretty heavy woods up ahead. No one will ever find us in there. Come on, you dopes. Move it or lose it. Bucky, wait. Don't be such a chicken. Click. Oh, man. Don't ask me to speak French. I can't speak French. So it's Frenchy stuff. Oh, man. I would never be a good professional narrator. I guess I'd have to learn. Oh, geez. Seriously? You had to write it all in French? So, Cindy says something in French. Farm guy says something French back. Cindy says, "Oui?" So I can speak "oui." Then Cindy responds. The farm guy introduces himself to Steve. Steve responds, "Parlez-vous English?" "My sweet? Yes, I'm sorry." More French. And we see a bunch of resistance guys come out of the woods. "We have not time to waste, my friends. There have been very much Nazi activity in Paris since yesterday." "Do you know why?" "Some say they have brought in a very important prisoner. He is to be questioned by the Reichstag's master interrogator tomorrow." "It'll take us a day to get safely into Paris and prepare a flight plan. Let's go." Let's see. Ronnie says, Maguire is very good at drawing expressions. Almost a bit exaggerated, but they're very clear. And it's very true. And for this time, in the early 90s, this was not something that was done. Not very often. Comics art was very much more about anatomy and just drawing dynamic poses and action shots. Faces were a lot of afterthought. As long as you can make the face look just generally like a person, that was usually fine. But modern comics, of course, it's very much a lot more facial detail. I think a lot more women have gotten into comics over the past 20 years, and I think that's part of the influence. Nothing necessarily wrong with that. I'm just trying to point out that what we take for granted more today was not done. So when you had this book back then, it was like, oh, wow. Not something I'm terribly used to. Let's see. Brewer's like, blocked. Damn, Bucky. Who are you? Say who you are. You're a dead man. Or loading circles in this live stream. Oh, I'm sorry about the loading circles. Is everything better now? I don't know about loading circles. Says I have an excellent connection on the YouTube stuff. Hopefully we're back in business. So that means back to the comic. Ed says your French is as good as Marcel Marceau. I don't know. That sounds like. I don't know if that. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know how good that is. Sorry. Back to the action. 20 hours later, at an exclusive Paris hotel, edition is about to begin. Do you ratsies plan on standing around all the day staring at me or what? And quite the contrary, Herr Fletcher. Someone special is coming to have a talk with you. Knock, knock, knock. Ah, that must be him now, ja? Guten Tag, mein Herr. Please come in. Colonel Fletcher, allow me to introduce to you the Führer's personal information specialist. Or, as he has come to be known, the Master Interrogator. Come inside, please. Our guest eagerly awaits you. Jawohl, your instrument of choice, mein Herr. The auditory canal drilling bore? That sounds terrible. Oh my god. Ah, the digitary cutaneous extractor. The intramandibular plaque grinder? Oh, look at even the German guys like watching it is like, oh, jeez. Ort voila, the testicular perforator. Look at Fletcher's face. Oh man. Oh, that's kind of what the face I'm making. The testicular perforator. Oh. Look at him. Oh no. 2 hours later, along the river Seine. Is it Seine? I don't know how to pronounce that. You can let me know in the chat. Seine? River Seine? We're nearly there. Now is the time for us to be very careful. There are German patrols everywhere along the riverbanks. This is our cause, monsieur. Not yours. You have your own war to fight. But we wouldn't mind the help, right? Just drop us off the bank. And we'll go from there on our own. Arretes! Holy Toledo! The jig is up! Amerikaners! They prepare to die! No! Whoa, Mama! Steve! Oh no! Bucky! He's not coming up! Hey, goose steppers, over here! Was is? Kapow! Ack! Spoofed. Ka-chunk. Skapow! Steve sees the flame. Fire in the hole! Wachoo! The boat explodes. Boom, boom. Ack, hold him still if you would. Was that an explosion? Forget about what is out there. Smoke. There's a fire on the riverfront. Lieutenant, take 2 men and investigate. Jawohl, mynheer. If you are quite finished worrying about boat fires and such, could I please continue my work? If it would be a pleasure to see you perform, Herr Master Interrogator. Sha, I know. Now, a mind-altering chemical mixture of my own devising should loosen the Amerikaner's tongue. Is everyone okay? We sustained some injuries, but we will continue onward. Yeah, no problem. Really, slogging through the tunnels is very heroic. Cindy, he was shot by one of the soldiers. He's gonna slow us down. We will not leave him here, as the Nazis have done We will not leave him here, as the Nazis have done to so many of my comrades in arms. Guys, what are those things for? The Nazis take imprisoned members of the French resistance into these tunnels and execute them. They leave the bodies to drift through the tunnels into the river, never to be found again. My brother was executed down here several weeks ago. He fights like a bear. Indeed. Good. But he will sing like a canary, nein? Take that needle and stick it up your ass. What purpose would that serve? He's best when injected directly into the bloodstream. Meanwhile, why have we stopped? There's a divide in the tunnel. One of my men will take you towards the hotel. The rest of us will go in that direction towards the Tombeau de Napoleon. We will create a diversion, draw attention away from your actions. Like a guy in a red, white, and blue costume with a shield needs to be inconspicuous. We would like to thank you for everything you've done for us. Good luck. Fight the good fight. Pretty romantic interlude here, huh, Lieutenant? You, me, Paris, in a sewer. Only the best for those that I love. See? It is working. Now is the part I love, the parts where they shiver in pain. Tell us the secret of the Rebirth project, Herr Fletcher. Focus, Jimmy boy, focus. Think of what will happen if you give in. You have the last piece of the puzzle they need to create an army of super soldiers. Think what'll happen. Just focus on that one thing. Think what'll happen. I already read that part. Losing it. I can't. Oh, God, no. Outside. There are several soldiers milling about the hotel entrance. You've done all you could. The rest is up to me. Bucky, Cindy, you guys stay put. I'll get the colonel and be back in 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere, okay? Gotcha, Cap. Give it 5 minutes, then we'll go topside and help out. But he was adamant about our waiting here. Yeah, but I don't know what adamant means. Herr Fletcher again. What is the secret of the rebirth process? Ha 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 ha. Just laughing Hitler. The Vita. I thought I told you to. Lots of ratsies patrolling, huh? It's gonna be hard to sneak by them. I got a feeling it won't be as hard in, say, 5 seconds. I won't talk, Herr Fletcher. I won't talk. You hold the key. Open the door. Now. Badoom! Was is? I will not talk. What was that? It came down from the street. He is trying to escape. Coincidence? And putting a match into a bunch of papers wedged into the gas tank. Stop him! The only way out of here is crash. Humph. Jeez. Please don't tell me that's the guy we came here to rescue. Ronnie says, sane is pronounced like the word sane in English. Thank you. Always learn something new. If Eric won't teach me, Maranya will. Let's see. So Vank, you're gonna try to find some hero alliance. I don't know what that means. What do you guys? I don't know. They're planning on something. Doug says, "I do you think I could have lived the rest of my life without ever hearing of the testicular perforator?" Yes, you could have, but now you haven't. What's with Nazis' obsessions with people's privates and asses? I think it's more the comic books are typically, especially pre-comic crash, comics were much more typically written for men or boys. Boys have a thing about their balls, and it's pretty much, if you want to threaten pain to a guy, testicle is just the thing. That's they know boys are going to read this, and the thing that's going to make them cringe the most is the testicular perforator. So, Melissa, that's the best answer I can give you. Let's see. Eric says, "Good night, kids. See you tomorrow night for Criminal Cast." Shameless plug. Oh, yeah. I was going to plug that after the comic, but I should have plugged it before the comic, before I went to bed. Yes, tomorrow we'll be doing Criminal Cast, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing Lawless, so read up on Lawless. Get it? It's on Comixology. And join us for awesome comic book geeking out. And Eric Breen. You can't miss Eric Breen. He's the star. So, why does Ash's German accent sound like his Mexican accent? Damn you, Zach. Damn you to hell. RDV says, "Dumb. Cap could have caught him." No, he couldn't have. He wasn't close enough. And also, this is an inexperienced captain that doesn't understand all of what he can do yet. Let's see. I was wondering what Ash was reading, chat-wise. Well, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Man, I haven't even got halfway through this damn beer yet. Yeah, I just burped in your ear. That should get me some more dislikes. All right, moving on. Incredible. I would not have thought him man enough. And we do not even lose the secrets of Rebirth. Look who has come to rescue his mentor. Colonel. Those animals. They're going to pay. Do you hear me, you Nazi animals? You're gonna pay. Welcome to Paris, Captain. Now, if you please, enough of the amenities. Poofed. Shunk. A cable. A battery pack on his back. Ah! Thoop. Scratch. Oof. The third one. Urgh. I love this. He leaps. This is the little details I love about this book. He leaps off the wall with such force. You can see his imprints in the wall. That's... Kevin Maguire, maybe he's not my favorite illustrator because just the overall style, but there's just so much to appreciate in his skill. And this shot here, just you just feel the force. Look at him breaking through the banister. Just great. Crash. Enough of this. It is over. I'll agree with you there, Nazi. But it is over for you. Even though my electrical equipment is damaged, I will still... Kapow! Die Schreitspritze! You have killed him, Amerikaner Schwein! Oof! Schracked. Thump. Thum, thum. This Captain America is beating the shit out of him. It's kapow. Very good there, Captain. Very good. Tiring out. These guys are shrugging off my best shots. Nowhere to run, Air Captain. Save perhaps for the route taken by your precious Colonel Fletcher? Not likely, Nazi. Who? Thump. Very nice. Let me rewind this. I love this. You don't see this in a lot of modern comics, this ability to just understand the dynamics of an action shot. Now Captain America backflips, comes over the table, comes under it, see his legs pop up, kicking it, then punch it. Like, there's a nice sequence to the flow. A lot of modern comics will just show like one big splash page and show a bunch of people like posing, and you're like, look, there's action going on, but you don't have a sense of what actually happens. This feels more cinematic. Time to go. It was stupid of me to try to get revenge. It wouldn't bring James Fletcher back, and getting myself killed would do nothing to honor his memory. Get Bucky and Cindy and get out of here while he still can. Halt! Do not shoot him. Der Führer demands that this man be brought to him alive. No, I'm trapped. These guys have to bring Captain alive. Doesn't sound good for them. Meanwhile, in the back streets of Paris. Where are we going? We have to help Cap. We couldn't stay at the hotel. We would have been captured. Steve can take care of himself. The French resistance safe house is here. If Steve is able, he'll know where to find us. Yeah? Well, I still think we could have helped him. Don't play with a lion when you're trapped in its cage, kid. Knock, knock. Guten Tag. Welcome to the safe house. Holy moly! It's a Razzi trap! It sure looks that way. Now drop your gun. Now, Air Buchanan, try to use your boyish charm to get out of this one. Uh-oh. Looks like, Moran, you might have been right. Meanwhile, Captain America fighting Nazis. Keep up the pace, Steve. The fact that they want me alive really helps. They won't shoot, and hand to hand, they can't beat me. Sewers are the best chance to get away. Figure out how to get to the safe house. Figure out how to get to the safe house that the guys from the Resistance told us about. Sploosh. Of course, walking through Paris in this outfit is going to make it hard to be discreet. Out, finally. The Eiffel Tower. Which way do I go from... Stop where you are! No time to waste. Blam, blam, blam. I like Captain America with a gun. Uh-oh. Run, Steve, run. Ed Brewer says, that shield sucks. Well, this was his original shield. This is before he gets the vibranium circular shield that we all know and love. This is just the original one. He has nowhere left to run. Hurry, there's a murder. He cannot have gotten far. Scrack. Schlenk. Two you have killed now, Air Capitan. Your time has come. Let's do it. Yeah. Scrack. Gah. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Ow. Oh, that just makes me cringe. Fuck. Thump. Crack. You dance divinely, dear Captain. Snicked. Oh, shit, he's got a wine opener in his shoe. Thunk. Ah. Ow. Oh. Oh, and it's whirring. Oh, it's drilling into... Oh. Ah. Oh, that would take you down. That would drop you. Come now. Where is the great American hero now? Crack. Oof. Ah! Steve holding on with one arm. Sweating. German holding on to him. German slipping down his boot. Ah! You Americans. Always getting into situations which requires the help of your betters. Allow me to introduce myself, Herr Captain. My name is Der Rot Schadel, but you can simply call me Red Skull. The man who killed Captain America. Dun, dun, dun. To be concluded. Next issue. Be here for the thrill-packed finale to Captain America's very first adventure as Cap enters a Nazi arena to battle the Red Skull to the death. It's a blockbusting battle issue which has no true American can afford to miss. You'll see the Cap at his shield-slinging best as he leaps into action against Nazi hordes. You'll see Bucky making a desperate attempt to free the Allied POWs. And you'll witness the fateful decision of Cindy. Just whose side is she on, anyway? The answers to all these questions and more are awaiting you in The Adventures of Captain America, number 4. On sale in just 30 days. Miss it at your own risk. Yeah, I love this book. I'm probably not doing it justice. Let's get to the chats. Let's see. Melissa says, the Nazis' obsession with the super soldier serum reminds me of their obsession with the Toulon serum, a.k.a. the elixir of life, and the puppet master. The Nazis are always obsessed with something or other, right? Like, that's kind of the trope. If you watch, like, Indiana Jones, right? Like, oh, the Holy, or not the Holy, first it was the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Ark of the Covenant. And then, you know, later, the Holy Grail. Just anything that they can use for power. That's kind of the trope. Nazis are... And part of that reason is because Nazis were known for experimenting in many different things, from crazy science to like dark arts and whatever. So it makes for good fiction, I think. Let's see. Ed says she saw that coming. RDV says, yes, we were both right. No, just Maranya, not you, RDV. You don't count. Sorry. RDV says, I never cared for his early shield. Ed says, that's right, and it sucks. It doesn't suck. Look at it. It's got the American flag on it. You anti-American hater. You're probably a Biden supporter. You probably want to put on Obama symbol on his shield. Captain Obama. Oh my God, I'm surprised we never got that. Today, oh, you know, we might get. Oh God, I can't wait till Marvel puts in Biden in the comic books. Anyways, moving along. The villain is a freaking army knife with all those attachments. Yeah, I know. That's what makes Nazis cool. Ed Brewer says no such thing to the death. Come on now. Come on. Just you gotta have the suspension of disbelief. You gotta lose yourself. 5 more minutes and Bucky would have turned out Cindy. What? 5 more minutes and Bucky would have turned out Cindy. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Ed. RDB says that shield is so lame that Cap would rather hang onto it instead of dropping it. He feels like he has to be nice and commit to it, even if it means his demise. What? Why would he drop the shield? That doesn't even make sense. What a swell kind of guy. Dude, the shield is saving his life over and over again. Anyways, I'm partial to the old school shield. I think it's cool, especially when you see him. I like it. It separates the period piece Captain America, and that's the classic American shield anyway. Not just for Captain America, but just that shape, which is like the shield shape with the stars and stripes. I mean, I'd rather Captain America have the round shield for today, and obviously it works better. But I'm partial, and I like chances to see the old school shield be recognized. He was hanging onto the shield instead of on the ledge. I left the comic book. Let me get back in there. Sometimes I'm focusing so much on reading properly that I don't pay as much attention to the art as I would. So the guy crashes over, and he's hanging on with one arm. Oh, I see kind of what you're saying. Huh. Yeah, I guess. I don't know why he couldn't grab the ledge even with the shield on. Like, he could just let go of that strap, or he can just even, like, I don't know. But maybe he's thinking of it like the flag, right? Like, that's the thing. You don't drop the flag. It's kind of a military thing. Like, if you're the standard bearer, you keep that standard flying. I don't know. I didn't really notice it until you kind of pointed it out, RDV, to be truthful. Like, he just is hanging on with one arm. Leave it to RDV to always ruin a good thing. Way to go, man. Way to go. Head says, F that shield. The one right there is legit. Lol. Yeah, F that lame shield. Man, you guys are some serious haters. That's like the original shield. You guys are just a bunch of modern comic. You don't appreciate the original stuff. Shield is more than his arm. He could still grab on with the other hand. Nah, you guys are just a bunch of haters. That's a crappy flag. I like the better round shield. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, thanks for being on the hate train. Everyone's free to their own opinions. You know why? Because Captain America fought for that freedom. Not really. He's a fictional character. But good Americans did, so you could have these opinions. Well, I don't know. I have much more to talk about. I like this book. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Doesn't sound like it. You're a bunch of haters. Rania, hopefully you're enjoying it. You're not a hater, so maybe I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. You guys put me in a sour mood. You're hating on Captain America. Man, we need Captain Marxist, Captain BLM. You missed the earlier lesson that I gave regarding the shield, Ash. You gave an earlier lesson? I don't remember you giving an earlier lesson, but I guess I did miss it. RB says, talk about the latest issue of Daredevil. I haven't read the latest issue of Daredevil, so I can't talk about it. But thanks for reminding me, because I need to. I do like what Daredevil's doing. King in Black, I did a video. You should go watch it. It explains why crossovers are actually a good thing when done properly. I like what's going on. Daredevil's still the best book at Marvel today being printed. Yeah, that's it. I guess I should go use the stream ending soon properly. Artie says Captain Marvel is better than the Captain Lame Shield. Wow, no wonder you like Nick Spencer's Spider-Man. No wonder you like the guy doing Spider-Man who turned Captain America into a Nazi. Let's see. Ronnie says, repeating, says they had to change the shape of the shield because another superhero at the time, the Shield, who had the same kind of shield. That's weird. It's not like many people haven't used that shape of shield since, though. I mean, Fighting American, I think, uses that shape of shield. Guardian uses that shape of shield. I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, I will admit that the round shield works better, especially for the comic books, because it has the Frisbee properties, and Captain America can fling it around. It just, ultimately, it's better. But I like the classic. I like the fact that there is something to transition to. You know, I like that there is an improvement. I like that here's the old inferior one before I got the cool one. And it helps make the cool one even better because you're like, oh yeah, you upgraded. If you don't have anything to upgrade from, then it's not an upgrade. So I guess I look at it from that point of view. Well, I'm kind of tired. Is it midnight yet? No, it's not midnight. Made a good time. I thought I was going to be blabbing on so long that we'd be running overtime. We got one more issue to wrap this thing up. We'll be doing on Thursday. I guess I should be plugging Criminal Cast. Criminal Cast, for those of you who don't know, if you've made it this far, is a irregular podcast style stream that I do with Chip, or sorry, not Chip. I called him Chip. Skip and Tosh. Don't tell him I said that. Oh, you can tell him. I've done it before. Skip and Tosh, who's my partner on the Unnamed Indie Comic Show. Eric Breen and Nalo. All three of those guys are bigger Ed Brubaker fans than me. The Unnamed Indie Comic Show doesn't have time to do all the books we want to do, so I made a spin-off thing, involved some other people. These guys were instrumental in getting me into Ed Brubaker, and I'm just discovering a lot of this stuff, and we're doing all of his indie stuff for the most part. We're not going to do like his Captain America run or his Daredevil stuff or his Batman stuff. What else did he do? He did Catwoman, I think. We're not going to be covering those. Not because they're not good, but we're just because it's the unnamed indie comic show thing. But I urge you to read those and follow along with us. Discover the greatness of Ed Brubaker as I have. There's a lot of stuff in his catalog. He's most known for Criminal, which is why we call it Criminal Cast. We did previous books. We did Reckless. Episode 2, we did Coward, which is the first Criminal storyline. And then episode 3, tomorrow, we'll be doing Lawless. So hopefully you've read it, so you can geek out with us about it. He really is probably the best writer writing in comics today. Sean Phillips does the art for him. It's fantastic. And yeah, come join us. And even if you don't like reading good comics, Venkman, feel free to join us and support us. That was a dig. Just kidding, Venkman. Don't get your panties in a wad. I know. I don't do good digs. They kind of come out mean-spirited. I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to be mean. I want to geek out and have fun about comics, so that's the things that I'm into. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, did you catch the little... We came up with a little... came up with an intro song for the Unnamed Indie Comic Show. I don't know if you guys were listening to it, if you liked it at all. I couldn't really talk about it during the show, but I thought it was funny. Skip got a good laugh, so we used it for the show. Yeah, I hate this lag. You gotta keep going, and then RDV likes to throw up stuff like yawn. Is he still talking? It's kind of hard to do a show when people throw virtual tomatoes at you. Sucks. But, when you have fans like RDV, who needs haters? Dissing Venkman got you 3 subs. Nice. I'm cursed. I'm not doing videos lately. I'm finding it very tough because there's no good videos to do. I don't want to be like a hater channel, but seriously, there's nothing at DC or very little at Marvel to do and be positive. And I don't want to just be like, look, here's a Venom good. It's still Venom's good. Oh, look, and Thor's good. And oh, Daredevil's good. And I just recycle, rinse and repeat because I can't find anything else worth talking about. RDV says a dig for a dig. No, RDV is more like, you dig me, then for every one of mine you kill, I kill 10 of yours. That's what RDV is like. If you slight him, he will rain on you. So let that beware. Just say good things about RDV all the time, because he will swarm you with. Read Blade Runner. I did read Blade Runner. What are you talking about? Ed says, you spend the money, I'll watch the videos. Well, okay. I'm glad you're watching. But some of these books are worth the money, man. Criminal is good. This is real good. I would not steer you astray. And they're better than, even when I'm reading these books to you here, I'm not doing them justice. I think if you read these Captain America books yourself, you would enjoy them even more than my presentation. But, I enjoy sharing the things that I love. I get to talk about them, why I like them. And with this Captain America book, it's probably been 30 years since I read them. It's been a forever and an age. Maybe not 30 years. Maybe 20 years. But still, I've forgotten so much of the detail. I just remember the bare bones, and I remember loving it. And so revisiting it now, it's like, oh yeah, it's been a long time. You will be fine, Comrade Ash. Shakes. What? RDVs, are you reading the current Blade Runner series? Yes, I am. 2029? Yes. Only one issue's come out so far, so it was okay. I mean, there's not much to talk about. I'm kind of waiting for the second issue to see where it goes because like a new writer's coming on, so I'm a little hesitant. But I really enjoyed Blade Runner 2019. Fantastic. So I'm going to stick with it through 2029, and I'll give it a chance at least because I like good comics. But I think that's going to do it. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. So we got tomorrow, but that'll just be a show, and then Thursday will be more live talk. If anyone wants to join me on these storytime streams and chat during the non-reading parts, let me know. If you are a epic level member on my Discord, you can already just join in. If you're not, just hit me up, and I can put you in. The reason I do it that way is not to be elitist or anything, but I don't want to just have any random person just showing up because it could just be like 10 people. I have no one showing up, so probably not, but you know what I'm saying? But I just throw that out there because maybe someone wants to join. No one likes to get on the mic. A good writer can capture a kid's mind as well as an adult's. Books that are still good years later are worth owning. Absolutely, Ed. That's what I'm talking about, Ed Brubaker. Even shares your first name. These criminal books are fantastic. Ash RDV keeps shaking his booty in the snow dance, which is why everyone's getting it. I'm not getting it. He can shake his booty all he wants, and I get the nice 60 degrees San Diego weather. RDV says, you need an Austrian to read for you? I know a guy. Yeah, come on. I mean, not now. It's after midnight now, my time. It's really late for you guys. But Thursday, if you want to come on, we're going to be doing Captain America 4. You got to be a little bit nicer to the host, though. I can't have you on here just shitting on me. It's tough for my morale, I need I'm a soft, delicate flower. I need reinforcement, encouragement. Ed says, take the chopper. I don't think that line's in the movie. It's get to the chopper. Get the chopper. No, it's get to the chopper. Do it. Do it now. RDV is way better at that. My Arnold sucks. Kind of like Captain America's shield. Good night, folks. Thanks for joining.